welcome to Little Literati. I'm Jess, and welcome to February. I know I didn't start off terribly great last month with my 2018 reading goals, but I'm hoping that even though this is the shortest of the months, I can actually really buckle down and get a lot of reading done. So I have kind of an ambitious pile this month, but I'm really hoping I can get around to most, if not all, of the books that I've got on here. So let's jump right into this. I had mentioned that I was doing a book club with a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, and I introduced her to the David Eddings books the last couple of months. And she told me it was her turn, and I totally agree. She really wants to read The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, and I've put my name on the waiting list for the audio book download from my library so that I can read it. It's a really long book though, so it's taking forever for me to go through the list. So I'm hoping that I can get to it this month, and if not, hopefully I'll read it in March or April. But anyway, so in the meantime, I do have the audiobook of Elantras, and I do also have the hard copy version of Elantras. This is the first book that Brandon Sanderson published, and I read this in high school, and I liked it, but I don't remember really any of the details. So this will be a good refresher course to kind of boost my Brandon Sanderson capacity for the next coming months when I can get into The Way of Kings, because that's going to be huge. So this will kind of help me ease me back into his world. I've been also reading the first two books of the Mistborn trilogy with my husband when we've been going on long trips. And I think we have one coming up in the next month or so. And so we'll probably be doing that one, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, so Elantras, I'm excited to remember what I liked about this, because all I know is I liked it. I don't remember why. So, Elantras. These next three books I also read in high school, and I remember they were weird. That's all I remember. They were weird. So these are the Black Jewels trilogy by Anne Bishop. I really love her other series. I read these, and I think I just maybe read them too young, and because a lot of it went over my head. And so I'm going to try rereading these. All I remember is that there's jewels, there's dark jewels, and there's light jewels, and then there's witches, and queens are the most powerful witches, and the darker your jewel, the more powerful you are. And I remember that 3 characters are named after the devil, but I didn't catch it until later. One is Lucifer, one is Satan, and the other one is Damon. So that's all I remember. So I will reread these and see if, as an adult, I can get into them and get a little bit more out of them than I did as an adolescent. So I want to do one of my author spotlights on Anne Bishop here in the upcoming months. So I'm going to hopefully buckle down and read these and enjoy them better than I did when I was a teenager. Oh, so the first one is Daughter of the Blood. The second one is Heir to the Shadows. And the third one is Queen of the Darkness. So, okay, so like I said, The Way of Kings is huge. And so even though I'm going to be listening to it on audiobook, and I'll have a little bit of time to read hard copies of books, I'm kind of going for shorter books this month in case I have to read that one with my friend. So this is the second book in the Thursday Next series by Jasper Fforde. This is Lost in a Good Book. It's the sequel to The Heir Affair. And I reread The Heir Affair a couple of months ago, and so now I'm going to actually move on and finally read the sequel. This is the one that I bought finally. I had books 3 and 4 for a while there, and I finally bought book 2 a few months ago, and so now I can actually read the series. So Lost in a Good Book. Speaking of thin books, about books even, this is The Librarians and the Mother Goose Chase, which is what I got for Christmas, or actually I think my birthday, one of the holidays. I got at the end of December from one of my kids, and this is the second book by Greg Cox in the Librarians universe. So this has the characters from the Librarians TV show, which is my favorite TV show right now, and they have to track down magic gone awry around the Mother Goose nursery rhymes. So this sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to read this one. And it's going to be really a pretty short read and quick. Okay, we've got, this is the Magicians trilogy that I bought right around Black Friday off of Amazon. They were just a couple of dollars each, by Charlie and Holmberg. I've not read any of these yet, but I figure these are really small and short, and so I'm hoping that I will be able to get these in, even though I'm hopefully reading a really long audiobook. So we've got The Paper Magician, which is the first book, The Glass Magician, and The Master Magician. And I listened to a book of hers called Magic Bitter, Magic Sweet, and I didn't really love it, so I'm really hoping that this series is really good. It has great reviews on Amazon. Everyone references it. I see it everywhere. It's very ubiquitous on the internet right now. So I'm hoping that this is as good as everyone says, and that I like this one better than I liked her other book, because I just really didn't love Magic Bitter, Magic Sweet. So, but I figure even if I don't, they're really just small books. So it'll just be a quick read, and then I can move on if I don't love them. So, yay. And then this is a book that I got out of a subscription box last year, Before She Ignites by Jody Meadows. This has been on my TBR list for months now, and I mention it all the time that I'm going to read it, and so this month I really am going to read it. I know I have other books I still want to read off of that list, but I'm going to read Before She Ignites if it kills me. So hopefully it won't, and I can actually buckle down and read this book, because it's about dragons, and I love dragons, so I'm hoping that it's awesome. I mean, why wouldn't it be awesome? It's about dragons. And I really loved Jody Meadows' contribution to the My Lady Jane book that I read the last couple of years. It was awesome. I love it. And so I'm hoping that this one is great, because it has her plus dragons. So that is my list. So I'm hoping to read 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus Way of Kings. So maybe 11 books in February, which again is really ambitious given that it is the shortest month of the year. But hopefully I can really get into these, and hey, if the book doesn't become available, then I guess I'll have really a lot of time to read these. So bear with me, and we will see you at the end of the month, and we will figure out which ones I actually was able to get around to reading. We'll see you then.